Hello, family members of South Point Higher Secondary School. I take this small opportunity to encourage each and every one of you. I hope and pray that my small presentation will be a blessing to each and every one of you. Well, we all come from different backgrounds, from different places, from different families, and we all have problems. We all have difficulties in our life. Some problem might be big, some problem might be small, but problem is problem. Some of you might have completed your studies. Some of you might have completed your high school, and you might be thinking, what shall I do? What shall I work? Where shall I go? And those things might be crushing you. Through this video, I'd like to encourage you by saying, what is your passion? What is your zeal? What is your interest? Do that. Some people or many people, their parents say do this and they start doing that. Their friends say do this and they start doing that. And in a long run, they fail. Why? Because they don't have the interest. They don't have the zeal in doing those things. And so I like to tell you by saying, what is your interest? Do that. If your interest is in sports, do that. If your interest is repairing something, do that. Because that is your interest, and you will give and you will work with all your heart and with all your mind, because you have interest and you will succeed. But if you don't have interest and you start doing something, you will fail. So, what is your interest? Find out and do that. In the long run, you will succeed because you will give your whole heart, you will give your whole mind in it. For those students who are weak in their studies, I like to encourage by saying that education is not the end of life. There is life beyond education. Many people think that I don't have education, I'm not qualified, I can't be great man, I can't do like others. No, if you are thinking so, it's a mistake. There are many people who don't have education or who have very little education and they achieve great things in their life. Why? As I have said, because they search for their zeal, because they do what interests them and they achieve great things. There are people who don't even pass out their high school and they become great men, they become leaders because they have the zeal, because they do it with all their mind and with all their strength. And so, those who are weak in study, don't be discouraged. You can be a great man, you can be a great woman if you do what you want to do with all your heart and with all your mind. For those of you who are thinking that I'm not handsome, I'm not beautiful as someone, don't underestimate yourself. There are many people in this world who don't have arms, who don't have limbs, and they do wonders. Those who don't have eyes, those who are blind, those who are deaf, those who can't speak, those who are dumb, they do wonderful things, great things that you and I can do. Why? Because they have the zeal, because they have the desire to do, because they don't give up. When you do something, what interests you, don't give up. Never give up. Never give up. But do with all your heart, with all your might, and try and try and try it until you succeed. Last but not least, I like to encourage you by saying, trust God. There are many youth, there are many young people in this world who think that pleasure, that joy, the peace they can find from the world, and they start drinking wine, they start taking drugs, and they start doing many things which we are not supposed to do. And in a long run, they regret themselves. They say, why did I do such thing? They regret themselves. And so I like to encourage you by saying, real joy, real peace, real happiness, only God can give you. So trust God. Yes, by drinking wine, by taking drugs, you might get joy or you might have peace, but that peace, that joy would not last long. It's only for a short while. If you want everlasting peace, everlasting joy, everlasting happiness, you need to trust God, believe Him. And in whatever you do, put God first in your life, and He will direct your path, and He will bless you abundantly. So never put God behind you, but put God first in your life in whatever you do, and you will succeed. And so I pray and hope that you will never give up in whatever you do, that you will search for your passion, you will search for your interest and do that and never give up and trust God always.